White people, the first thing you all would be doing is addressing your deficiencies. Back to sports. If you got bad players on the team, you replace it with somebody who's got good players. Well, you're your only player on your team. So what are your deficiencies? I see a bunch of unskilled laborers in that room. People who are hoping to be able to fill out an application to enter the economic system, which is what filling out an application does. That's the bottom rung of the economic ladder. What are you all doing to become skilled laborers in fields that you need? Once you become a skilled laborer, now you can become an employer. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from there. It takes no effort at all. If everybody in that room who didn't raise their hands, oops, that's all of you. If everybody in that room who didn't raise their hands were to invest the next 6 months into learning something as simple as computer programming, in 6 months, we would have 400 people who would be able to take over pretty much every website that's out there. And I'm not talking about in a hijack kind of way. I'm talking about being able to build bigger and better. Because everybody's on their Facebook and their Twitter, but how many of you could program it? And you don't like some of the functionality. Yeah, but guess what? Mark Zuckerberg has people who know Perl, programming language. How many of you even know what Perl is? But you'll complain about it. We complain about the telecoms here in the United States. Who's making an alternative to it? You guys are going to complain about the illegals. You got to follow that like we do over here. What's your alternative to it? An unskilled laborer can do nothing but complain. That's all he can do. So if you all would invest, I'm not even asking you to invest money anymore. If you can just invest the next 6 months of your time to stop this cycle of being an unskilled person, that would change everything with just the 400 people in that room.
Thank you for that contribution. Jay, I have 2 questions. My first question is, what are your beliefs or your thoughts on franchising? I want to know what your opinion is on that. And the second question I had was, typically, looking at the statistics over there, black women, I don't know, African American or whatever, black women typically are at the bottom of the scale financially, but in terms of education, we normally come up quite high on the criteria. So there's a disconnect in the sense that a lot of us go to university, get qualifications, but I think a lot of that gets sucked into child rearing, for example, and you find yourself out of the market with all the qualifications which you have. Keeping it short, my question is this: if you are able to secure, I don't know, 10 women who also have the same vision as you, and they're willing to invest financially, but you find that the amount you have is not enough, what are your thoughts on seeking outside investment, and what would you say would be a safe percentage, and from whom, in order to move a business idea forward? Because I think pulling together is really important, but financially, if you cannot come up with, let's say, the required amount, what would be your advice on seeking outside investment? Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I don't want to hear any black person anywhere on this planet say that they don't have enough capital. I stopped taking that as an excuse 5 years ago. When we got Negroes lined up 50 abreast for the new Jordans anywhere in the world, or for Xbox games, or their PlayStation games, you got the same thing going on over there in Britain. If when I saw that, I don't want to hear it. There was your business money right there. There was your investment money. Black women spend just as much money on their hair in London as they do in America. Let's just keep it all the way real. I don't want to hear any more excuses. You got the money. What you do not have is the will to use it for what you need. You want to go to work for the things you want and then beg for the capital that you need. Now that's called not being an adult. So I will not hear that one at all, period. As far as getting together with other investors, that would be something that you would have to align on your own. I was able to do it for 7 a.m. But like I say, it takes either a good idea or a good amount of people. So be prepared to invest either one of those. And get ready for an answer you might not like. But as far as investors, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. As far as franchising, that doesn't matter as long as you own the building.
Thank you so much.
I mean, here, if you build a hotel, like Holiday Inn, the way they're doing it, take that sign down, Marriott. Make it simple, it doesn't matter. As long as the building is yours, you can do whatever you want to with it. And when you get tired of playing around with them, pull up your own. It doesn't matter. But franchising is perfectly fine. No problem with that. Be prepared to spend some money, though, because a good franchise will not be cheap. Now, To your last question, well, your second to last question. Do you all notice that I didn't use the word education in my film? Dr. Anderson has a degree, Umar Johnson, myself. But did you notice that none of us told you all to get an education? Did you notice we didn't do that? Oh yeah, we touched on the subject, but you notice I didn't say that. And the reason I didn't is because there is a difference between education and intelligence. I want you to get knowledge necessary to make money, a skill set. Remember, I said become skilled laborers. I didn't say educated laborers. Skilled. Once you have the knowledge necessary to apply it, understand something, people. A business is very simply put the art of solving problems. You solve somebody else's problem and you charge him as much money for solving his problem as you can. Because if he can do it himself, he'd be doing it himself. Since he doesn't know, you get to charge him for fixing it for him. That is the root of being a business owner. But if you're unskilled, you can't solve your own problems, much less somebody else's. So no wonder. And the problem with people getting degrees is that, as Dr. Anderson explained in the movie, all you can, since you have no black companies, all you can really do is take your money and lend to other people's power. All you can do is lend your strength to their cause. You don't have any place you can apply it for yourself. And what happens with most black people is we get into a company and our goal is not to make a business. Our goal is to try to get in middle management so we can get a BMW. So we walk in the door with no plan. We're having children with no plan. Thus you have a society with no plan, no clue, and no hope. And if you're out here having children first and getting education second, what's going to happen to your income as it goes up? You're just going to start plowing it off into the kids even more. We keep going into these things backwards. We need to have a plan first, execute the plan, and everything else follow that. But in the meantime, don't go to school to get a degree for education. You're supposed to be getting a job to enter the economic system so you can start building your own assets, not so you can buy some shiny shoes and a shiny car.
Oh, yeah. Quick.
Yeah, hi, Jason. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not used to, this is the first time I think I've ever spoken in front of a group of people. But I started my own company about 5 years ago. I've got a construction company and I live in northwest London.
Go on.
I see one of the main key factors why black people are progressing is that we watch each other too much, what other black people are doing. The women, modern day society, mothers and women, haven't got the nurturing skills as they did have before, like in the 80s. The music is a big influence. Those type of barriers, how are we going to pass those type of barriers when mothers, modern day mothers, are not, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing in modern day society? I see that as a big issue. Because mothers are the key to the foundations of society, the black society.
Brother Jason, did you get that?
I heard most of what he said there, but for the part that I did make out, we as a people, since we are not having the proper family structure, we're not building the proper society structure. Women are not teaching their daughters what kind of man they're supposed to be with, and the fathers are not teaching their sons what kind of man he's supposed to be.
Yep.
So you've got an organized group of non-black people who are starting their economic base in their homes, and you got black folks trying to wing it with all these improvised quote-unquote families. Let me break your feelings here tonight, folks. A family starts with a man and a woman, not a woman and a child. And if you can't build a family, I would be a fool to think you can build a business. If you can't organize the people under your roof, how are you going to organize a bunch of strangers? Answer, you won't. You can't. You don't know how. And thus the situation that you're in. So as black people, one of the chief things we need to get straight is all of this craziness that we have going on in disorganization where everybody wants to do their own thing. What I want to see come out of this group of you, hundreds of people there today, is an agenda class. I want to see leaders come out of that place. Stop looking around for other leaders. The leader is you. If you're hearing me right now, you are the leader. It's not about being an elitist, although you are the elite. And stop getting people to say that you're not. Yes, you are. You are the elite. You are the special forces. You are the commandos. You are the best of the best. You are supposed to be leading. And first and foremost, that means that you also understand that as leaders, there's supposed to be punishment when people break the code. And what you lack in London, because understand the situation for black people around the world is the same. It's no different over here than it is for you all. You just got different accents. That's all. I can drop you all off in Louisiana today, and once you get done with the fried food with spices, you'll be like, yo, this is just like London the way black folk act. They just talk with a southern drawl. But it's the circumstances are no different. No different. So you lack an agenda class. Who in that room is setting an agenda? And once you set the agenda, you need the means to enforce it. The reason why you all are so worried about, well, I can't put nothing together because other black folk won't join up with it. If 6 of you would get something going and just start a damn shopping plaza, you would be able to call hands and dictate to everybody else in the neighborhood and start enforcing a code. That's what everybody else does to you. They build a big store and then they enforce the code, the dress code, the entry code. You can't come on this property code. It starts there. If just 6 of you would get together and do that, you can start making a code and then start enforcing it. But everybody's waiting for somebody else to do it. And waiting on somebody else, you end up with no one else doing it.
Brother Jason, we have totally run out of time here, but we're going to be in touch with you because this is something that we have to do on a regular basis. Brother Wayne just got a few words to say to you quickly.
Hi, how you doing, Jason?
Take one people, Black First Wayne. Wayne has been with me since the very start of the Black Channel. If you don't know about our Black Channel radio broadcast online, so big ups to Wayne.
Thanks, Jason. I'm not gonna keep the microphone. I just want to ask you a question. Do you plan on showing this documentary again? Because I think there's a lot of people that wanted to come but couldn't make it for whatever reason. And I've got friends in Birmingham as well that also want to see it. But obviously this is only one place, London, and there's a lot more of us. So do you plan on screening this again?
Well, if Charmaine wants to show it again...
Oh yeah, hell yeah, brother.
That was Mark.
Yes, interest in some other places, but definitely, like I say, if anybody wants to contact us about screening it, they definitely can contact us. And especially for the overseas places, I really want to work with them to make sure this gets out. And we're even planning on screening it in Africa here in a couple of weeks. So,
really? Okay. So that's... Okay, so some people in South Africa was interested, I'm hearing. So that's a little clue. Anyone that's a film developer or something like that, that's your first film you can do right there.
So, Brother Jason, what I was going to say to you is we're going to be in touch with you shortly to work this stuff out because there's a lot of people in here that had hands up and we couldn't get to them. And we're going to put together something where we can all gather in a room and have a proper discussion, a proper... sorry? We're going to bring him over, most definitely. I'm saying that like I've agreed it with him and he's going to cuss me off now and say, I ain't coming up. No, I'm joking. Brother Jason, we're definitely going to sit down and talk about you coming over. We're going to do some seminars and stuff like that because the information you have is valid, it's needed, and we're going to take it on a level. People, give Brother Jason a big round of applause.